This is Oba Babatunde from SWAT, and you're listening to Rave It Up. Why's it taking you so long to get to us?
Hey guys, it's Lauren Yates from Rave It Up here, and today we're going to be having a chat over Zoom with American actors Brent and Shane Kinsman, who you may remember playing Nigel and Kyle Baker in Cheaper by the Dozen 1 and 2. They're also in Desperate Housewives. Today, they're coming on the show to talk to us about their return to acting. They retired from acting at about age 12 to focus on school and family and sports. And now they are back into it. They're even writing their own script. So today we get to hear all about that, as well as the experiences that they had when they were kids, and how much they do remember from Cheaper by the Dozen and Desperate Housewives. There is so much to cover today, so let's get into it now.
Before we get into today's interview, we would like to give a shout out to our Patreons, Irene, Bev, and Michael. If you haven't heard of Patreon before, it is a great way to support us and keep us running and improving. You pick a membership tier that suits you and your budget per month, and in return for supporting us, we'll give you behind-the-scenes content and free stuff. You don't have to give much either. You can be a part of our Patreons for as little as $4 a month. Just visit patreon.com/raveitup. You can even donate through PayPal if you don't trust other sites. You can do so just through our email, raveituptv@gmail.com. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. We appreciate anything you can do to support us. Now, let's get into this interview. Brent and Shane, welcome to Rave It Up. It is a pleasure to have you on the show today. How are you going today?
Can't complain. Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm
Good
really
to see you,
glad. I was really just blown away and also really excited when my team booked this interview, because I grew up watching Cheaper by the Dozen 1 and 2, and they were like some of my favorite movies. So I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, they're not like, 4 or 5 years old anymore. They're grown up.
Yeah, the first one's 17 years old.
17 years old, I think, this
So,
year.
God,
scary.
that makes us all feel old, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're
Actually, it would be 20 years old, the first one.
Almost.
I think it came out in 2002 or 2003, so yikes.
Wow. So
We
for
were
our
5.
audience, because they look so much older now, they played Kyle and Nigel Baker, the real little twins in both films. And it's funny too, because it's not until, we're older now that we realize how some kids can be really hard to look after. So on set, especially Cheaper by the Dozen 2, you had like double the kids. So was that very hard for the adults to like control you all?
I think they did a pretty good job. It's funny. We tell people this all the time. Usually when they cast kids, especially young as we were 5 turning 6 in the first movie. And then the second one, we were 7, I think, turning 8.
Mm-hmm.
So we were relatively young.
Yeah.
And what they'll do is they'll cast older kids that look younger so that they know how to behave themselves and they're a little more, composed and mature. But they kind of just, rolled the dice with us.
Sean Levy took a risk.
Yes.
And casted us as we were. So, I mean, all I can say is God bless our mom. Because she was behind the scenes the whole time, just kind of, reining us in and slapping us on the wrist a lot.
Otherwise, it was just like a big playground for you guys, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, it still was. It's just, you can only control the chaos so much. But especially around the house, too, there were so many like prop toys and just you can only hold a 5-year-old's attention span for so long. And then you got to take a break and let them,
they used to tease us. They used to say, one more take. They would like dangle the carrot in front of our face. And just, it was like one more take. And then 30 down the line, we were just, pouting and throwing fits. I can't even imagine.
We don't want the carrot. We want some chocolate, ice cream.
Yeah, right.
Give us sugar.
Oh, man.
And were you only on set on certain days? Because I have heard for a lot of child actors, especially if they're not even at school age yet, they've just got to work with, and you hear a lot of twins as well. They'll pretty much help each other out. So one will be on set and then the other one will, go in and take their spot as well.
Yeah, I mean, for us, that's typically how twins work, right? Because of the child labor laws, you can only work with a child for so long, so they, flip flop. But with us,
both on it.
We were both on, so we didn't spend every day on set. We spent quite a bit of time, but you know, it's not like we weren't Steve Martin or Bonnie Hunt. They were the leads, and so they were on set every day. But we spent a good amount of time on set. And in terms of school, they just kind of we brought up again. Thank God to our mom. She brought our curriculum over to the set teachers, so you know they would do their best to wrangle us and teach us while we were on set. But yeah, I mean, we were both there the whole time together because all of our scenes were together. So
yeah. You're twins. You're together. You do everything together.
Yeah,
on screen and in real life.
Yeah, pretty much to this day.
And I know you were really young, especially for the first movie, a little bit older for the second, but what do you remember as like your funniest moment on set, or even the funnest moment on set?
Oh, there's a few.
You know, it's funny because we have like right behind us over here in our house, we've got photo albums of all the Cheaper by the Dozen days. And once in a while we'll get nostalgic and flip through them. And like all of, you know how like when you see a picture, all the memories come rushing back. Like I remember like when you said that, asked that, the first thing that pops into my head is, do you remember what soccer boppers are? They were like blow up like boxing gloves, but they were huge. And I remember that they used to have those like laying around on the set somewhere for us to just, you know, toy with. I'm sure there's a scene in the movie of us punching each other.
I think in the after credits.
I remember that day so vividly when we had the soccer boppers and we were just beating the crud out of each other like all day until we tired out. Camera stopped rolling and we kept going. And like it was just, there was always something. We did a whoopee cushion on Bonnie Hunt. I think that was the second one.
Oh my goodness, really?
It wasn't a whoopee cushion. It was a fart machine. We had an electronic fart machine that you had a trigger for. Yeah. And I think we put it underneath. We taped it underneath her seat, and I believe she was doing an interview to promote the movie. It was either a scene or an interview. I think it was an interview. And we put the fart machine under her chair and
worst timing. Oh my!
That was our dad's idea, believe it or not.
And as kids, you're like, "This is hilarious."
Oh yeah.
When they're like, "This is an interview. Got to be professional."
Mortified. Yeah, she was probably mortified, but
not Bonnie. Probably not Bonnie.
She was a good sport.
Yeah.
And how was it working with such legendary actors like Bonnie and Steve Martin? Do you still keep in contact with them to this day?
We haven't. We're connected with Bonnie Hunt on Instagram, on social media. Steve, we haven't heard from in years. But in terms of our relationship on set, I mean, they had to be the set parents. You know, they had to be the ones that kept the peace and the control over the whole chaotic situation, and they did a great job. I mean, even when we weren't, doing takes, for people like Bonnie Hunt and Steve Martin, who are such high-profile, legendary actors, to take the time to pay attention to the kids and give them the time of day and be nice, and they did, and nothing but fond memories of both of them.
I have like vivid kind of blotchy memories of Steve Martin, who used to play the banjo, because he's a legend on the banjo as well. He's a great musician, and he used to play the banjo for us. Like in between takes, we'd go to his trailer, and all the kids would kind of like huddle around, and we have pictures of it too. And he'd just pluck away on the banjo, and that was just kind of the whole vibe on the set, and in between takes and stuff. And I remember all the kids used to get together and play like Nintendo 64, like GameCube together, and
bongos. Remember
DJ Bongo? Yeah, DK Bongos. I remember like Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it did get frustrating. I'm sure for the adults at some point, but for the most part, I think everybody just had a gas.
Yeah. What great memories for your childhood too. Not many people can be sharing those sort of stories.
Yeah. And we were just kids, I mean, Bonnie and Steve were, like you said, such legendary actors, but we were just kids being kids on set. And so I think ignorance was bliss for us, because we just kind of showed up and the cameras were rolling, and we were just super natural about it. And they just basically said, go be kids and we'll feed you a couple lines. And then they hit the record button. So we didn't really know what was really, going on.
It's like, we'll just be ourselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, it's also amazing just to see after those movies, like where some of you kids have, ended up. You look at Hilary Duff now and Taylor Lautner. You rewatch the movie and you're like, oh my god, even Taylor Lautner looks so young compared to these days.
Yeah,
as well. But yeah,
it's crazy. It's funny though. I was just going to add to that. It's funny because we do keep in contact with a couple of our castmates. Just like we all did a TikTok together a little while ago in 2022.
Oh, I love that.
Kind of got some of the cast, back. We got most of the cast back together, And it's funny, like everybody, I mean, we're all, of course, 20 years older, but everybody still has the same face, like
Yes.
seeing all these people compiled into the TikTok. This was the first time the
Mhm.
cast has really been together since the second movie. So it's been a long time. You know who everybody is still. Everybody still just looks like an older version of themselves, which is very trippy, very
Yes.
strange.
Especially when you look at you guys.
Yeah. So
I suppose we probably changed the most
probably.
of us and Blake Woodruff because we were the young ones. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you do change when you're, let's say 20 to 40 years old. Of course you change, but from 5 to 25 is
Drastic.
it's
jump.
funny because people recognize us still on the street, especially when we're together and we don't wear hats. We got the twin redhead thing going on, and they're always so shocked. They're like, wow, I remember growing up and I seeing you guys 4 feet tall. They forget that we grew up with them.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
we don't have this magic pill that we just stay
Yeah, right.
4 or 5, if only.
Exactly.
Yeah. And another thing as well, in case the audience don't know and they only know you from Cheaper by the Dozen, between 2004 and 8, you're also on Desperate Housewives as the Scavo twins. I've got to say, it's been a long time since I've watched it, but it's such an adult show as well. It touches on suicide and sexual assault, murder, and emotional physical abuse, and pretty much any illegal, horrible thing you can do to a person, it's in that show.
Yeah.
So, especially at that young age, like, how did they protect you from all of that on set, or were you just oblivious the whole time anyway?
I think it's that. I think it was that. You're only aware of so much when you're a kid.
Yeah.
I think that. Well, our parents would never let us rewatch the show for many, many years. And actually, to this day, I haven't seen it all the way through. We actually just started it last summer, I think, for the first time ever. Because, we would show up and we would do our segment of this, of our scene, which was typically innocent. I mean, mischievous always, but innocent. And then we would go home, so we weren't around for the filming of the little bit, racier things. And since we never watched the show, I mean, that's kind of how we were protected. And then again, we had another amazing cast and crew for Desperate, like Doug Savant and Felicity Huffman and everybody involved.
It's like a second set of set parents.
They were super protective. Yeah.
That's good. Because you need to, because there's plenty of time for the rest of your life to be exposed to that stuff.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
We ignorance was bliss, in that way. We it's funny because our parents tell us stories of, like, we used to, back in our old house, we used to live in a neighborhood where all the parents were friends and stuff. And the parents would get together for block parties, like every Sunday when the new episodes would come out, and they would all watch the show together. But all the kids would be like in the next room or at another house
jumping
or
on the
whatever,
trampoline or something, doing kid stuff.
And we'd be on the screen and they'd all be watching it, but we had no idea, what the show was about or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
We just did our job and came home.
Our job and came home.
Yep.
Had a set teacher, as well on that set too. And then that was more so, like, for Cheaper by the Dozen, especially with the second one, we filmed it in Toronto, Canada. And so we were on set, we were in Toronto the whole summer. It was 3 months, I think it took to film. But with Desperate, over the years, we got to split our time between set and school. So we'd go to school, and then the days or the weeks that we were filming, we were in the episodes, then we'd have a set teacher. And so we really had kind of a good balance between, I guess, normal life and set life as well.
That's good.
So,
yeah,
we were very well shielded.
You still had a bit of a childhood, because that was another question I was going to ask. Did you feel like it took away your childhood a little bit by acting so young?
I think the only thing that it took away was a couple years of sports, only because, I mean, a lot of our friends were from school were starting sports at 8, 9, 10, and we stopped acting when we were 12. And so that's when we picked up baseball and football. And so we had a couple years to catch up. But, obviously while you're doing acting, you can't, take a fastball to the chops or anything like that. So we forfeited a few years of organized sports. But other than that, it was a completely normal childhood. I mean, in the place where we live in Glendora, it's kind of a small town where everybody knows everybody. And so people knew who we were, but they were respectful. And we still, made normal friends at school and threw dirt clods at each other and just did kid stuff, So we had the best of both worlds.
I think we kind of got away with both, where we got to live that kind of crazy Hollywood child star life on the one hand, but we also, made it in just in the nick of time for childhood. And when we took our break at 12 years old, like Brent was saying, then we just got to go play baseball, and football, and go to middle school and just kind of grow up, which we were, again, super blessed and shielded from all the nastiness that can come out of that industry, especially when you're so young.
Yeah. And kind of as funny as it sounds, you could say you retired at 12.
Yeah,
Not many people
pretty
can
much.
say that.
Retired at 12, peaked at 8. Yeah. But, it's all downhill from here.
It's all downhill from here. No.
Yeah, right. How do you top that?
Yeah, I'm hoping it all goes uphill for you from now on.
Of course.
Yes, fingers
most
crossed.
definitely.
I gotta say, it's such a funny story about how you guys got into acting as well. A talent agent saw you at a Dodgers game. This is for our audience in case you don't know the story. And they encouraged you to go start auditioning. You got your first job, national Tylenol commercial as well.
Yeah.
And then soon after, you booked Cheaper by the Dozen. So how soon after did you really book it? Was it always just lucky breaks at the beginning? I'm sure your cuteness really, really helped.
I think it was at a time when twins were hot. I think it was like that was a trend that was starting. It was that, and just, I mean, in this industry, sometimes you just find yourself riding a wave, and you just kind of hit sometimes.
It's like hitting the lottery.
You kind of just hit sometimes, and that was our, at least that was our entire career, pretty much from the beginning. And so we were early 4-year-olds in the Tylenol commercial, and then we turned 5, I think, on the set of Cheaper by the Dozen. So it was within the year. But yeah, I think that the way it happened is they had noticed us, the casting directors, or I think it was our agent maybe, saw the commercial, or maybe it was a casting director, saw the commercial and said, hey, well, there's a national casting call for this new movie called Cheaper by the Dozen. They wrote a book about it in the 50s, and they need twins. Originally, it was going to be twin girls, and then they decided to go twin boys afterwards. And they said, they told my mom at the time, throw your kids' names in the hat and see what happens. And so we went for it, and then we got a call back, and then we got another call back, and then we got, I think on the last call back, we were driving home from Santa Monica, I think is where the audition was. And my mom got a call saying, hey, your twin boys got cast in a major motion picture. And that was, and that was that.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
Rest is history. Yeah.
So how are you finding it now as adults? Is it a lot harder now, a lot more competition and rejection as well?
Well, there is a lot. I mean, when we were kids, we were just so charmed, and we just, like Brent was saying, we kind of caught lightning in a bottle. And I mean, we auditioned quite a bit as kids, and of course we got some rejection as kids too, but most of the big things that we auditioned for, we got. And it's also one of those industries where once you establish a name for yourself and you kind of catch some momentum, it just snowballs from there. You get your name out there, it's easier to get jobs. And so, taking a break from the industry did kind of stop our momentum, a little bit in terms of things. But it's funny because we graduated college in 2020. So the infamous 2020, right into the pandemic.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Such a hard time for you.
That's played a huge part in,
every industry.
Well, of course. Yeah. It's definitely put a stump in our industry, like many others. And so, like somewhere towards the end of college, we both went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo together. So, and that's a whole nother story. We didn't mean to go to college together.
Surprise. So we went together.
Yeah. We didn't mean to do that, but fate kind of just, I feel like just God just kind of led us together through college, and it ended up being a big blessing. But towards the end of college, we knew that we didn't want to just get right out and kind of go the corporate route. We had been discussing getting back in the industry for a few years, but hadn't really taken the idea seriously until the end of college. And then somewhere along the line, we just decided, yep, that's kind of our calling. That's what we need to be doing. And so we were all charged up to get back in there and connect again with some of our old agents and get our names back out there. And then boom, the pandemic hit.
Yeah, such bad timing. Does that mean you just kind of use that time just to hone your craft? Because even though you were like, agriculture, your degree of agriculture will be there whenever we need it. But also 2020, obviously you couldn't really just go out and audition because there wasn't many opportunities around then. There's way more now because of all the streaming services and stuff. But what were you doing during that time then when everything just halted?
Walking a lot. Yeah, outside. Amongst other things. I mean, we did take a couple online acting classes, which was interesting.
We did one in person too.
That was towards the end, but in the thick of the pandemic, there was nothing but online,
opportunities. And that was interesting. It's a tough adjustment to make, because I think where we really shine is in person. I think some people can do the online thing, but I think our personalities come, I mean, we're old fashioned. So we like eye contact, and we like reading the room, and, reading the energy of, and I think that probably most casting directors do as well. But now, since the pandemic and everybody's kind of converted to online, things have changed so much. And I don't even necessarily think that a lot of them are going to go back to in person, because they have to, they got to rent a place in Santa Monica, and they got to be there, and they got to, spend some money. So it's changed the game completely. But I digress. We learned a couple skills. We picked up the guitar.
We used the downtime to pick up skills. So we did do acting classes. We like Brent was saying, we learned guitar, or we're learning guitar. We didn't learn the whole guitar during that time.
Learned the guitar.
Done.
Yeah, that's it.
Off the bucket list.
Yeah, easy. On to the next skill.
Well, I even saw on your Instagram, Shane, as well, you playing the guitar, and like, still learning. Come on, like, it was incredible that.
Yeah, what you don't see is the 600 times I practiced before I posted that. Yeah, because that was totally the first time, right?
And you don't hear me. You don't hear me yelling at him while I'm eating food or watching TV in the other room. Like, dude, stop.
Sorry.
Think of that. So is maybe a musician on the cards for either of you two? Is that another like plan B?
Nah, that's a hobby.
I mean, in the world of anything's possible.
Yeah,
we both
everything
love
connects
music.
in entertainment.
Yeah, that's super true. So we
Soon
kind
you'll
of
be in musicals. Who knows?
Hey man, life takes you some crazy places.
2-man band, something like that.
Hey, and the twin thing, people would love it.
I know.
It's a great shtick.
We've been playing it forever. But so we did that. We did guitar. We continued to just like kind of stay in shape. Luckily, our gym across the street was open, because a lot of them shut down.
Very lucky.
Briefly, but
all of our gyms got closed.
Yeah. Most of them all in LA got closed too, and we're like connected to the one that just kind of stayed open. Yeah. They were closed for a while, but they moved all their stuff outside, and so we were able to work out and stay in shape. And we also picked up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over the past couple of years.
And congrats on the tournament too.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I've done my stalk.
That's cool.
My job, I'm like, I don't know, allowed to stalk you just to be able to do my research.
Hey, what? Like, we're not going to sit here and act like we don't stalk people on Instagram.
Exactly.
Everybody does. Come on. Let's just out that now. Everybody does it.
Yeah.
No shame.
But
so that was really fun. So we that's another kind of skill that we thought not only would benefit us in the acting world. A lot of actors out there, especially in the action space and sci-fi kind of superhero space, which is one of the spaces that we want to get into. They all know martial arts, and they start with jiu-jitsu because it's a grappling, it's a very foundational martial art, and you can learn other martial arts off the back of jiu-jitsu. So plus we just really enjoy it. We grew up athletes. Like after we stopped acting, like Brent was saying earlier, we did sports, and we did baseball and football, and just found a really competitive spirit that we never knew was there, and just wanted to continue our athletic endeavors. And so it's kind of, it's the coolest thing because we enjoy it. It gets that athletic itch out, but it also will, hopefully benefit us in our careers later on. So we just did our first tournament last weekend and got the crap beat out of us.
Yeah. First one ever, but it was the first return to competitive organized sports since high school. We didn't play sports in college. We lifted weights, but to compete against other people is a totally different ball game. And it was so nice to get back into the competitive athletic space. So that's something we really enjoy, and hopefully we'll do for the rest of our lives.
Absolutely. And I really hope to see something in, for you guys in the Marvel space or something like that. Who knows? Twin superheroes, or maybe even like twin villains. I could see that.
I was going to say, or like good and evil. There's so much. There's so much they can do with that.
Exactly.
I'm
One of you
surprised
could
they
be
haven't
the
done
other
it
evil.
already. Yeah.
Sorry?
I'm just surprised they haven't done it already. I mean, they've played with, Star Wars has like Luke and Leia, they're fraternal twins, and they've done some things, but the dichotomy between identical twins could be played with, two good, two evil, one good. It's just visually, I think it's a good opportunity. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, even you look at like the new Doctor Strange movie, like that. There's no twins in that, but it's just the same actor playing, the other character of themselves, sort of thing. So why do that and do double the takes when you got the two people right there?
Yeah, exactly. Or they could just use both of us for one guy.
Exactly. Save the money.
Cut the cost.
Is right there for them. Come on, Disney.
Right. Cut the cost in half. Yeah, because Disney's worried about cost for sure.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You got to save it here and there where you can.
We'll see.
I quickly want to know too, because I know you guys have a huge passion in health and fitness, and obviously it comes across in your sports and everything. Is that the big reason you chose agriculture, or was that sort of like your parents' idea to go get a degree, make sure you have a bit of a plan B before you get back into acting?
No, it wasn't. The decision to go to college was our decision. I remember back when I was a senior in high school and I was picking different colleges and thinking about, going to get a degree in the first place. The return to acting was kind of always in the back of my mind, but it wasn't such a prominent idea. And the idea of college sounded good to me at the time. How agriculture came into play, because, we're from Southern California, LA. And so that's a foreign discipline. So, but we've always been interested in nutrition and health and wellness. And that goes along in the whole athlete type of package. And we also had a family friend whose dad was, he was high up in I think it was a citrus distribution company. So he had been in ag for a long time, agriculture for a long time, and loved the business. Not to mention, people have to eat. So there's always jobs and opportunity, and it's an innovative space, right? So it sounded attractive at the time. And I don't necessarily see myself in the near future involving myself in agriculture, but I'm really thankful to have been exposed to not only the knowledge, but the culture is really, really interesting.
That's true.
I mean, we went to school with cowboys, and farmers, and cowboys, like
generational farmers.
Yep.
And we know how to drive tractors now.
Yeah. My
Life
first,
skills.
good. Yeah, it's good, man. My first quarter at Cal Poly, I took a tractor driving class. So that was interesting.
Not many people can say that.
Yeah, right?
A lot of people just stuck in classrooms and you're out there on the tractor.
Yeah. No, we were out there tilling fields.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you didn't want to maybe continue on with your studies and then go and also maybe do a degree in acting or anything like that?
I think 2020 kind of took everybody, through a left turn. And I think we're just at the age right now where it's an experimental time. And, I personally, and I'm sure he feels the same, didn't want to continue school, at the moment. When I got my bachelor's degree, I was like, okay, I'm done sitting in a classroom for a little while.
I know what that feels
I'd like to go out there and
go do it.
So just was kind of done at the time. So,
well, also the good thing about the entertainment industry and acting and stuff is it's a skill. It's not like I don't want to come off wrong here, but it's not a specialty skill in that, like, you don't have to have a degree in it to excel. I mean, there are people out there that, went to, like, I can't think of people off the top of my head, but there are people that went to school their entire lives. They did, grew up doing theater and they went to college for acting. And then you have a guy like Tom Cruise who never took an acting class in his life, or like Matthew McConaughey, same way, who just kind of fell into it. And, are they the greatest, most diverse, skilled actors of all time? No, but they found a niche and seemed like they really, I think what those guys do really well is they pick their roles very specifically, and they pick roles where they're casted well. And so, a guy like Tom Cruise or a guy like Matthew McConaughey doesn't have to have the range that, like, say, a person that's been going, through theater their entire life may have. But there's opportunity for all kinds of people out there. And we feel like our approach to this industry, like, yes, we've done some training and that's important, but we want to fulfill a niche, not only just with the twins, but I think just, we have certain personalities where there are specific sectors of this industry that we want to kind of like spearhead. Like we said, kind of the sci-fi superhero Marvel space is something we think we'd love to get into.
I also hear like Hallmark because it's very family friendly too.
Yeah.
We also want to continue just doing family friendly, kind of wholesome, values, traditional values, work as well.
kind of like what we did with Cheaper by the Dozen. And that's also what our audience, the bulk of our audience knows us from Cheaper by the Dozen. So they know us to be kind of more wholesome, family oriented guys. And so like Hallmark would be perfect, or like the GAC or something like that, or even just a fun show on like the CW or something.
Yeah.
Something that the whole family could come together and watch.
If you need a Hallmark channel contact, let me know. Like, I'm good friends with Cindy Busby, who's in Heartland, and she's like in a lot of the Hallmark movies. So let me know. I can hook you up.
Hey, isn't that funny? She's probably in. I mean, like, I feel like with Hallmark specifically, that company, like once they get a hold of you, you're in all of their movies.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you'd be perfect for this. It's a very similar role to another movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man, those people have the gigs, man.
Oh, definitely.
The jobs keep coming, yeah.
So that would be a good channel for you to work for too.
Yeah, we would love to. Plus, they're just such great movies. They're just wholesome and lighthearted, and I mean, there's so much heavy entertainment out there these days. There's so much political entertainment and just heavy stuff out there these days. I think sometimes you just want to sit back and watch a wholesome movie, or a movie that
just your troubles.
Yeah, we just went to the movies a couple nights ago. We watched Top Gun, the new.
I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Oh, no spoilers. Okay,
you're gonna love it though.
It was good. Okay,
you're gonna love it.
It was fantastic.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, my dad's a pilot, so he's like, "Yep, we're gonna go as a family.
cool.
We're gonna go class, and make it a whole celebration."
I think all the actors actually piloted the planes. I'm not sure for all the scenes, but I think that like Tom Cruise had all the actors.
Oh yeah,
go through flight school.
I definitely believe Tom Cruise would have.
Yeah,
he is.
He's a nut.
He does everything.
Yeah, he does. But it's fantastic. We won't give spoilers, but it's just it's just a story well told. It's one of those movies that you just leave the theater and you're like, that was just a great neutral story. It was in my opinion the good way of escapism. Like we went to the movies and I wanted to just escape and get into another world for a little while, and I left Top Gun feeling just like, okay, I was able to escape to another world. I was captivated, but I don't have any like apprehensions about any sort of political undertone or
it was your classic just summer blockbuster. And I think Tom Cruise is kind of one of the last of a dying breed of movie, like cinema storyteller type of, where you can just go to the theater and see a movie on its own and go, wow, that was great type of movie. And I think with all the rest of these streaming services, you get a lot of, like Shane was saying, some really intense shows with some really intense storylines, which is great for sure. It's awesome TV. But, sometimes you just want to go to the movie, buy a stub, eat some popcorn, and just,
watch a flick.
Go see a flick. And and so,
I've had someone say that for a while. A flick.
It's a boomer thing to say.
So with getting back into acting now too, I can understand why you're being, picky of which roles you do choose. But is that kind of a bit hard to kind of have that restraint and say no? Because especially coming straight back into it, you're like, you just want to say yes to everything and pay the bills, build your resume up as well.
Right. Yeah, it is tough because I'm sorry,
where it's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll do that a lot.
Well, I was just
bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised we held it together this far. We're probably going to say the same thing anyways.
Probably. That's right. Yeah, it is. I mean, especially with our kind of launch again, we're trying to walk the line between being too picky and also being strategic. And so we want to make a good impression and set a good tone coming back into the industry. And there have been a few opportunities that have come across our plate that we've had to say no to, because we want to make sure that the project that we involve ourselves with aligns with, it like I said earlier, kind of sets the tone for us. And so it is hard. You just kind of want to, especially with everything opening back up again, you just want to get back into the game and do some work. But
and there's so much opportunity, like you were saying earlier, that like with all these streaming services, there's so much abundance out there. It's something they don't tell you getting into this industry is it's sometimes harder to say no than it is to say yes. We've had to say a few really tough no's. Like for a year ago, we probably could have been back into this thing already and back on the scene and in the public eye already, but not from the right foundation, we think. And I don't regret saying a single no to, an agent, let's say, or, an opportunity that's come up in the last year or so that we've been at this, because it's just not, we're thinking with longevity. It's just not worth, it's not worth it. So, and the right project will come along and we're going to go, that's the one,
Yep, absolutely.
and jump on it.
Truly believe that everything happens for a reason. You're carving that path and it'll just come to you
sooner or later. It does take restraint and it does take patience, but I think at least in our case, to approach the industry again with some sort of plan and some sort of strategy, I think ultimately, like he said, in the long run will pay off.
Absolutely. Well, good luck with it all. I can't wait to see what you do. I have also heard that you're doing a little bit of writing as well. Are you allowed to share what that is, or any sort of, can you share the genre, or whether it's TV or movie at least?
We're thinking, we haven't decided.
It'll be movie.
It probably will be movie. Yeah, it'll be movie. It's in the sci-fi superhero genre, we'll say.
I love that genre.
Yeah. So that's the extent that we can share, but it's a story. It's a story that we've wanted to tell for a long time, that we chose to wrap in the skin of sci-fi superhero type of, and really, honestly, we're open to it changing. It's in its early stages right now. And so we have the meat and potatoes. But if the story sometime in the future is best served as, in some other skin, then we'll make the adjustment. But we're really, really excited about it.
We have the story, like we have the message that we want to tell. And like Brent was saying, the skin that we've wrapped it in is just a vehicle. It's a temporary vehicle for what we want to say. So if it turns from superhero sci-fi kind of thing to a Western or to anything else, we still have a story that we have to tell. And it's really cool because we know that we can't, play the cute little twins anymore like we used to, of course, when we were 5 years old and stuff. But I also think that, in the adult, sector of this industry, they don't use twins enough for, symbolic purposes. And like we were kind of touching on earlier, we think that we can use our relationship to kind of like display some of the dichotomies that we struggle with as human beings between good and evil, or between right and wrong, or whatever that may be.
Conflict within the individual, conflict between two individuals. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of angles to approach.
Yeah. So
have you actually...
we're being super vague about it. But that's,
I can see that, but that's good.
Yeah.
It's given more than you've given, I think, other people, so that's good.
Yeah, that's true. So
have you actually written it all now, or is it just still...
We're writing the script right now.
Okay.
We're writing the script. So we've got like a treatment. We've got a rough treatment for it, and we're developing it into a scriptment.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
We're basically we've got like our themes, and we have our kind of plot loosely. We're following the hero's journey. And so we have that as like a template, and then we're in the process of putting it into a scriptment. So we're going to do a small script and like a pitch deck for it for when we're ready to pitch it to investors or whoever we need to. So, which is interesting because we're good storytellers. I think that's our strong suit. We're good at, telling stories and getting the ideas across, but writing a script is a whole nother beast. It's been such a learning curve for us. And we're studying other scripts that we've been given access to and that we found just to see what dialogue looks like. And, there are some old shows out there that's, their scripts are floating around the internet that we'll read the script and then watch the show and see how a character jumps off the page. And it's a totally different
It's a new endeavor.
It's a new endeavor.
It's when we decided to do this thing again, writing was the last thing on our minds, but we had a story that we wanted to tell. And when you do, you got to put it on paper, and it just kind of blossomed into what it is now. And it's still continuing to grow. So we're excited,
and it's fun,
and it's fun.
It's
man.
brutal.
It's fun though. It is fun.
And pitching will be a whole nother ball game as well.
Oh yeah.
Good luck.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely. But
just bring that storytelling to it, into your pitch. I think that'll work. Yeah.
Hopefully not a Zoom meeting. Hopefully it's in person.
Hopefully, for your sake. Fingers crossed for you. But you know what you're going to have to do? You're just going to have to come back on the show in the future when it's all done and then tell us all about it, because I'd love to hear it.
Hey,
Oh, you bet.
we would
Yes.
love to.
We can't wait. We just want to share. We want it to be done already so we can just share with people. But
Yeah, but take
Yeah.
your time, really
Mhm.
put all those creative juices into it, as weird as that sounds.
That's what it is,
That
though.
we are.
Now, I did find this also interesting, but also a little bit sad as well, because I did see, when I read both of your IMDb bios, they're exactly the same, just the names have changed. Is that a little frustrating? Because even though you guys are twins and have done a lot together throughout your life, you are still individuals. And
Mhm.
to me, it's like, I find it sad and frustrating when, and I'm not even a twin, for that people do forget that you are individuals.
It's been a double-edged sword our entire lives. I mean, especially in the public eye too. That's kind of the niche, and so that's how we market ourselves. And in the future we're open to doing individual work, but that's how people know us, and that's our public image. But that's totally translated to private life too, with friends, and we are individuals, and there are nuanced differences about us, but we grew up with the same friends. We happen to have the same interests. There's tons of advantages to having a twin brother. You got somebody to play catch with the baseball with when dad's not home yet. And
we
that
have
type
a
of
writing
thing.
partner.
Yeah.
We write
Yeah.
together. We work really well together too. But it is hard. It's really hard to walk that line between, having your own individuality and also working in step with another person. Because
Mhm.
we see not even just business advantage to working together, but just life advantage in general. It's nice to have somebody that, and I think, it's one thing to have a sibling. It's another to have a twin, especially of the identical of the same gender.
Mhm.
And so we just resonate with each other, and we talk a lot, and we ping ideas off of each other a lot. And, there's a lot of, it's like you get double the creative energy. It's not even double, it's like to the nth degree. So there are tons of advantages, but we've just had to navigate that our entire lives, and learn how to still establish individuality in the midst of, kind of fighting the stream of other people grouping us together as a twosome. So
And those that know us best, our parents, are really close friends. If you were to ask them, they could tell you stark differences between our personalities, and how we'd handle certain situations. But our IMDb's are the same because we've got the same credits, and we do the
Yes,
same
exactly.
things.
so far.
yeah, so far.
Same sports as well, and
Yeah.
even just talking to you today, I can also see differences, as you said, in your personalities, but also differences in also your looks. Even though you're identical twins, you do have like little things that are different about
Nuances,
you guys too.
definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
keep it up. I'm so excited to see what you got planned in the future. And I know, guys, I've already spoken to you for 45 minutes. Can you believe that?
my
It's
God.
gone like that.
That's how it always goes.
I knew it
though.
would.
Yeah.
What, do you have to rush off straight away? Because I thought we'd play a game and you guys converse each other.
Oh, let's do
A
it.
bit of brotherly
Bring it
competition.
A little
on.
competition at the end here. Okay.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Well, it's just even when I just have one guest on, it's great competition because it's only a 5-minute game. It's actually 2-minute game, but with both of you it will be about 5 minutes. So it's called the legendary 2-minute hot seat. It's a very legendary game here on Rave It Up. And what I do is I ask you various questions. You just have to pick your preference. So it's like dogs or cats, singing or dancing. And you have to answer as many questions in 2 minutes as possible. And when you finish, we'll see where you sit on the leaderboard up against everyone else that's played the game on the show. Sort of like Top Gear, when they do the lap around there.
Yeah, totally.
And we'll also see who beats who. Oh,
Oh boy.
I'm very excited.
Do it.
This is the first time I've, had brothers on, so this should be fun.
Let's do it.
And whoever goes first, don't think that the person going second will be able to have an advantage because I
I
will be
was
giving
just
a
gonna give it
jumbled
to
up.
them.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a jumbled up list of questions, so you can't just sit there memorizing what I'm going to be asking. All right, who
Well-
does want to go first?
Put me in the ring.
I'll watch him
All
do
right.
it. I'll watch him. I'll watch the tone, how this goes. All right.
Watch the tone. All right, let me get my stopwatch out here. All right, and let's change the view so I can see us both. Okay. You nervous?
I'm cool as a cucumber.
Cool as a cucumber. I love
Cool
it.
as a cucumber.
All right, since it's Zoom as well, I do give you guys 2 minutes 15, just to be a little bit,
That's fair.
a little bit fair, just because there's a tiny bit of delay, so not like you would have in person. So, all right, here we go.
Alright, let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram,
iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone,
Apple or Android?
Apple,
Rap or rock music?
rock,
Rock or pop?
Rock.
Pop or country?
Country.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Beach or pool?
Beach.
Sun or rain?
Sun.
Skiing or snowboarding?
Snowboarding.
Comedy or action?
Action.
Blondes or brunettes?
Brunettes.
Sweet or salty?
What was it?
Sweet or salt?
Oh, sweet.
Sunglasses or hat?
Hat.
SUV or convertible?
SUV.
Mac or PC?
Mac.
PlayStation or Wii?
Wii.
Clean or messy?
Clean.
Singing or dancing?
Singing.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Italian or Chinese food?
Italian.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Kim Kardashian or Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Johansson.
Johnny Depp or Will Smith?
Johnny Depp.
Mall or online shopping?
Mall.
Cinema or home movie?
What? Oh, cinema.
Ice cream or gelato?
Ice cream.
Cake or cookies?
Cookies.
Cookies or cookie dough?
Cookies.
Family or friends?
Family.
Christmas or your birthday?
Christmas.
Night or day?
Day.
Bus or train?
Train.
Straight or curly hair?
Straight.
Eye color blue or brown?
Brown.
Vampire or werewolf?
Werewolf.
Texting or calling?
Calling.
Los Angeles or New York?
Los Angeles.
Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
TV or movies?
Movies.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Snow or surf?
Snow.
Harry Potter or Twilight?
Harry Potter.
Family Guy or The Simpsons?
Family Guy.
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
French fries or chips?
French fries.
Burger or hot dog?
Burger.
Guitar or drums?
Guitar.
Leather or denim?
Leather.
City or country?
What was it?
City or country?
Country.
Biting your nails or picking your nose?
Biting your nails.
Tattoos or piercings?
What? Oh, tattoos.
And we're out of time.
Man, I stuttered a little bit. I broke it.
That's all right.
Hope I
And I'm sure it does. Yeah, it doesn't really help when it's on Zoom, is it? In case
Yeah.
you don't hear
Oh,
it
well.
properly. All right. How many
fun.
questions do you think you answered there, Shane?
I'd say 30.
Ooh, a lot more than that.
Really?
Goes
50,
quick,
50.
yeah. You've
52?
answered 52 questions.
Seriously?
That was really creepy. Were you counting?
I swear. I didn't even know that was the point.
Yeah,
I
I don't think so.
swear. I swear.
All right. So, Brent, you've
Yeah.
got to answer at least 52 questions.
All right, bring it on.
53 if you want to beat
They
him.
have to be.
Yeah,
They
53.
have to be truthful, though.
Of course.
Can't just wing them out there.
Of course.
Yeah, you can't just be like saying whatever my first thing is I say.
Yeah. No, I'm honest. Switch it up.
Okay. You make sure he's honest, all right, Shane?
Yeah, make sure. Because I know it all.
I really got to stare at this list now because the other one is one I use for every single interview. Now I'm like, what's the next list? Okay. You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Brush or comb?
Brush.
Chocolate, dark milk or white?
Dark.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Steak or chicken?
Steak.
Fruit or veggies?
Fruit.
Eyes or smile?
Eyes.
Cook or clean?
Clean.
Pizza or hot dog?
Pizza.
Blue or red?
Blue.
Queen or king bed?
Queen.
Hard or soft pillow?
Soft.
Fiction or non-fiction books?
Nonfiction.
Trains or planes?
Trains.
Green or yellow?
Green.
Ice cream or chocolate?
Ice cream.
Running or walking?
Running.
Running or jogging?
Jogging.
Ice skating or roller skating?
Roller skating.
Pants or shorts?
Shorts.
Long sleeves or t-shirts?
T-shirts.
Movies or books?
Movies.
Movies or music?
Movies.
Throwing or catching?
Catching.
Socks or no socks?
No socks.
Stripes or polka dots?
Stripes.
Black or white?
White.
Shy or outgoing?
Outgoing.
Lemon or lime?
Lemon.
Eat a whole onion or a whole lemon?
Whole lemon.
Left or right?
Right.
Push or pull?
Push.
Walk or run?
Ooh. Walk.
Madonna or J-Lo?
Madonna.
Laptop or tablet?
Laptop.
Nachos or tacos?
Nachos.
Pizza or spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
Old or new?
Old.
Noisy or quiet?
Quiet.
Easy or hard?
Hard.
Watermelon or rockmelon?
Watermelon.
Night in or night out?
Night in.
Theory or practical?
Practical.
Headphones or speakers?
Headphones.
Photo or video?
Video.
Glass or plastic?
Glass.
Apple or orange?
Apple.
Snow or surf?
Snow.
Chocolate or strawberry?
Chocolate.
Bath or shower?
Shower.
Brush or comb?
Brush.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Milkshake or thick shake?
Milkshake.
Manual or automatic?
Automatic.
And we're out of time!
I had 2 questions the same,
think I
and
got
I answered
beat.
opposite.
No, I think I got beat.
All right, how many questions do you think you answered then?
57. 54.
Ooh. Oh, you would have loved my next question. I was going to ask Avengers or Justice League, Superman or Batman. Damn.
Oh,
I
man.
want to know now.
We're just getting good. Oh.
What is
Justice
your answer
League.
for that? I want to know that.
I'm going to go conceptually Justice League, movies, Avengers, and Batman.
Yeah, me too. Avengers and Batman.
Yeah.
Even though Batman is Justice League.
How can you beat Batman? You can't.
All right, so how many did we say Shane answered? 52, didn't we?
Yes.
And you have answered...
54.
You've answered 54 questions.
I knew it.
Congratulations,
Hey, I
Brent.
guessed Boom.
Just
Bowie.
won 2 questions. You guys are so damn close. Incredible. And in terms of like the whole leaderboard, let me have a look. All right. Well, Brent is sitting number 3rd out of all the Zoom interviews. So that's
Okay.
really good.
Take
About
it.
34 on the whole Rave It Up leaderboard because it's a lot easier to do it in person. And you, Shane, number 5. Yeah.
All right. Top 5. Can't complain. Can't complain.
Yeah, you're happy with that?
I'll have faster Wi-Fi next time.
Exactly. And if you have, are you ever planning to come to Australia in the future? We can do it in person.
Dude. Hey, that'd be even better. Then we'll
That'd
see
be
if
a
there's
blast.
really no excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I even did give you a harder list there, Brent, too. So
Yeah, I think
But you
so
still
too.
beat it.
Yeah. Keep gassing him up.
I'm pretty sure
Just
you
keep
did.
gassing him
Yeah.
up. Whatever.
sorry, Shane. You did
is
it.
what
I
it
actually thought you won, but anyway, I'm surprised
Yeah.
myself.
It is what it is.
Well, we are unfortunately getting to the end of the interview now, guys. But as a closing statement, it was probably the most important question here on Rave It Up. Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old selves?
Got to think what I was doing at 14. Freshman in high school.
I would say kind of on the lines of saying no. I would say have patience and wait for the proper opportunity, and also to wait on God. And I think that prioritizing the Lord has been big for me throughout this whole journey and just in life in general. And that's what I would counsel my younger self, is to stay tight with the Lord and to have patience.
Yeah. What about you, Brent?
Along the same lines, because he got it out first, but along the same lines, a little bit different. I would tell my 14-year-old self that you've got time. I mean, even now I struggle. I'm 24. I realize, or don't even realize, how young I am, in the grand scheme of things. But even then, 10 years ago, there's just so much to be experienced and so much to stay present in and download into your brain and just soak up. So I would say you've got time, be present and soak up as much as you can.
That's a good one. Even for me, when you've got so many things you want to do in a day or so many goals you want to achieve in the year, and you're just like, I need to get it done now, but you just got to be patient. It's all good. You got time. Like, the world still keeps spinning if you don't do a certain thing.
That's right. True. That's right.
True. That's good advice for our young listeners too. So thank you very much for that. And before we go, if our audience want to go follow you guys, where should we go? Find out what you're up to in the future.
We're pretty much just on Instagram. So
Yeah.
my Instagram is, I think it's Shane_Kinsman is my Instagram.
And mine's Brent Kinsman 7. Brent Kinsman
Okay.
number 7.
I'll put all the links below the video as well, so everyone
cool.
can go
Sweet.
follow you. And I'm pretty sure I'm following you now. If I'm not, I'm going to go. I was already stalking your Instagram, so I must have pressed follow. So
All right.
I'm going to go follow now if I'm not already, so we can keep in contact and make sure you can come back on the show in the future.
Oh, we'd love to.
This was so much fun.
You're
so much
welcome
fun.
on any time, all
I can't
right? Now you know
It's
what's
been
happening
almost
with
an
that
hour. I can't
game.
believe it.
You can practice it.
Oh yeah, I gotta
you need
I gotta
your
keep my
revenge.
wit sharp. I need to stay sharp.
Just
I wasn't frosty enough.
now you're just going to constantly ask each other questions and just answer really quickly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're gonna help each other get to the top of the leaderboard.
But who's going to get to the top is the question.
That's the question. That's true.
Thank you so much for your time today, guys. I know it's been a lot longer than we thought it would be, but it's been an absolute blast and great stories that you shared. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. It's longer because it was a good time.
Yes, exactly. And it didn't feel like that, did it? You're just like, what,
Not at
45
all.
minutes already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time
Thank you
flies
so
when you're having fun. You're so welcome. Just consider it your second home, okay? Anytime you want to chat about anything, even if it's not even something you want to promote, just come on and have a chat because it's been so much fun.
Duly noted.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed today's interview. If you'd like to check out any of our other interviews, please visit our website, raveituptv.com. All of the podcasts and videos are there for you to enjoy. And while you're there, please also check out our book, Knowing What I Know Now, as well as a mini ebook that I wrote last year called Staying Strong, Finding Inner Peace During Hard Times. And if you'd like to further support Rave It Up, please also visit patreon.com/Rave It Up. You can pick a membership tier that works with you and your budget for as little as $4 a month. And in return, you get free stuff and bonus content from Rave It Up. But for now, thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!